Ic19 Encyclopedia Friendships. Friendships under new management. Guided by the forces of the universe. Your sacred counsel. Discover the secrets of the universe, which reveals an assembly or circle of 32 laws of universe and nature, or better said, the guiding forces of universe and nature, such as duality, time, change, attraction, cause and effect, order, place and function, and many more. We are all looking for change, struggling in so many ways and aspects of our life. We may have an advisor, a healthcare practitioner, a nutritionist, personal trainer, or even a lifestyle coach. But we don't have access to them all day long. So enter the circle of vital and aware living and meet the Sacred Council, your personal lifestyle and awareness coaching team, always ready to assist you in every moment and in any circumstance. We are like visitors in a foreign country without knowing the laws and how everything functions in that world. We know a lot about the things of the modern world, but know little about the basics of life. See how they assist us with every step we make and with every breath we take, and make them practical in your daily life in dealing with your real self, your soul, your mind and your thoughts, your body, words and communication, nutrition, fitness, your life partner, children, the teenage years, getting older, stress, weight, disease, emotions, business, destructive habits, preserving the planet, studying, and friendships. For more detailed information on each of the guiding forces, see the intro booklet. There are endless words that can be connected to any subject, and each subject can have many books because each subject can be approached from various perspectives or angles. Most important, however, is not to forget that all that is said or written is merely an opinion, a truth, and not the truth. Because the spoken and written word is part of the creative world created in opposites, constantly changing and bound to time, and there is always more that can be said or written about any subject. Regarding me and the Sacred Council members talking about any subject, know that this understanding applies to that information as well. The information is formed from their particular point of view and brought to you through the world of visionary and mystical fiction. Hopefully, it contributes to your life and assists you to experience life in a more conscious, mystical, and magical way. By hearing or reading this information, you will come to the conclusion that you know this already, and you do, because this is part of your universal and spiritual inheritance. And often, we just need one word or a sentence that inspires and motivates us to do things differently or to think about a certain subject from a different perspective. The guiding force of the Creator. Make God a reality in your life. In regards to friendships, know that on the level of your soul you find friends forever, because on the physical level your friends are mortal. The soul, which is part of the Creator, is your everlasting friend, and this essence is the life-creating and life-sustaining force which is in everything and everybody, for without it nothing could exist. Honor all your real friends, because they are inside everything and everyone, and thank them for whatever they are. For without them, you have no world. Reconnect with the soul within you, and everything and everybody will be your friend, for they are all part of your worldly experience. If you have a kind and loving heart, then you are kind and loving to everybody. You are helpful to everybody. You see, if we are filled with love and devotion for the Father, All such quality rise in us like cream of the milk. You don't have to strive for them. They become part and parcel of you, because then you see the Lord in everyone, and you are humble before everyone. Huzur Maharaj Charan Singh Ji. End of quote. It would be great to have friends who remind you about these facts. The guiding force of the universal teacher. Master or be mastered. In regards to friendships, know that on the physical plane, that your spiritual teacher is your first friend, who will be with you in the physical life, but who also will travel through all the other planes with you to the realm of eternity. He is your true friend, who will always be at your side, but who also let you know about all your physical limitations and shortcomings, which you, with his help and under his guidance, will have to master. Quote, your master is within you. He is always watching you, whether you are conscious about it or not. You can't escape his eyes. Huzur Maharaj Charan Singh. End of quote. In the meantime, do not play master of any of your friends, or anybody for that matter of fact, because you need to become first the master of your mind, who is directed by your sense organs and keeping you in bondage. The guiding force of the power of the mind. Know the tricks of your mind. In regards to friendships, know that the mind can be a useful friend, through which you can learn basic skills in order to function in the physical world. The mind will also be useful under the guidance of a true master, as particular components are used to subdue the mind. The mind under the dictates of your sense organs is no friend, but your worst enemy, for it will even justify killing, and keeping you away from your real friends, your soul, your master, and the Creator. In regards to your physical friends, know that all of them have the same dilemma, being a slave of the mind under the dictates of the sense organs. Be mindful of this fact. Quote, man's natures are alike. It is their habits that separate them. Confucius. End of quote. The guiding force of the true disciple. Follow the master and the teachings. In regards to the friendship with your spiritual master, follow the instructions and the teachings, because you need to prove to yourself that all which is your belief is true. Otherwise, your belief just stays a concept. He will never leave you as a friend, but when you live under the dictates of your sense organs and in the hands of the endless desires of the mind, you are leaving him. Possibly you have friends who are on the same path as you, but know that your spiritual connection is a personal connection and not a group thing. So be careful about judging or even commenting on others on the path. Just stay focused on your inner connection. Your master or teacher is your only true friend, and he is with you in physical life and going with you beyond. In regards to your physical friends, have a balance between you sometimes being the leader in the leading position and other times you just follow. Be careful being in the leading positions, for others will follow you and you will be accounted for your leadership. And also be careful who you follow, because you will be accounted for this as well. Quote, the company we keep has a great effect and influence upon us. Huzur Maharaj Charan Singh Ji. End of quote. The guiding force of your inner hero. Be the hero of your own life adventure. In regards to friendships, be careful to not walk in the shadow of others who you think that are heroes. Become the hero of your own life adventure. Quote, Every man has his own courage and is betrayed because he seeks in himself the courage of other persons. Ralph Waldo Emerson. End of quote. Know that you yourself and all of your friends are potential heroes, and maybe some are already a hero in one area of life. Each one of you can become a hero in one or more areas of life depending on the training or studying you will undergo. But everybody can become a hero in being a good friend. The guiding force of maturity and wisdom. Learn from the wise elders and nature. In regards to friendships, realize that everything and everybody in creation is a friend, offering you a gift, an experience, and it is how you act back as friends that makes it a lasting friendship or not. You are either the destroyers of creation or the protector, and that requires being a hero. You are all souls, children of the same Father. When you love Him, you must show your love for His creation. Quote, do you love your Creator? Love your fellow beings first. Mohammed. End of quote. The guiding force of fantasy and magic. Live your life as a magical adventure. In regards to friendships, know that real friendships are magical. It is like living in a fairy tale or great story in which you live by the code saying, one for all and all for one. Good friends are there for each other in good times and bad times. Remember the beginning years with your friends. Everything was fun and magical, but when you grew up, you started to look only at your differences, and the magic was gone. So let the magic return. Quote, real magic in relationship means an absence of judgment of others. Wayne Dyer. End of quote. The guiding force of translating messages. Decipher the symbolic meaning of messages. In regards to friendships, accept all your cells, organs, system, body parts, all your inner characters and everything and everybody on the outside as your friends. For they are all bringing you important messages. Quote, a human being is part of the whole, called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences his thoughts and feelings as something separate from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our tasks must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion, to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. Albert Einstein. End of quote. Love them, for they all come to help you on your path in one way or another, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. Quote, love one another and help others to rise to their highest levels, simply by pouring out love. Love is infectious and the greatest healing energy. Sai Baba. End of quote. The guiding force of the energy of solids and earth. Feel connected and keep on experiencing new. In regards to friendships, accept your friends for who they are. Assist your friends, but do not try to control them. Always free your friends and be open to let them move on. Give your friends a feeling of warmth, security and grounding. Enjoy the common ground you have in whatever aspect of life at this moment in time. But do not try to carry your friends. Give them aid so they can walk themselves. Assist your friends to build their own future, but do not build it for them. Quote, "In the sweetness of friendship let there be laughter, and sharing of pleasures, for in the dew of little things the heart finds its morning and is refreshed." Kahlil Gibran. End of quote. Friends come and go in different stages of your life adventure. And a real friend is like a cave in which you can rest for a moment to refill and then return to your other adventures. Be that friend you are seeking amongst your friends. Connect with different types and groups of friends in order to keep a wider perspective and deeper and bigger life adventure. Good friends should be like a second home and less complicated. A real friend is there at times of joy, but also at times of sorrow. Quote, "And let your best be for your friend. If he must know the ebbs of your tide, let him know its flood also." Kahlil Gibran. End of quote. The guiding force of the energy of liquids and water. Go with the flow and in moderation. In regards to friendships, be flexible with your friends and take them for who they are. Be committed to your friends for the time they are around you and step out of your too serious side and be more playful around your friends. Find ways to be creatively active. Learn to go more with the flow, adapt to the situations, and be moderate in all your actions. So don't be a stiff amongst your friends, but dance with the joy in your togetherness. Quote, "You should respect each other and refrain from disputes. You should not, like water and oil, repel each other, but should, like milk and water, mingle together." Buddha. End of quote. The guiding force of the energy of heat and fire. Pace yourself in order to digest. In regards to friendships, be gentle in all your aspects, and your friends should not fear to say anything to you. Quote, "Deal with the faults of others as gently as with your own." Chinese proverb. End of quote. Do not force or push your friends, or they will push back or leave. Take breaks from each other, and when you are together, be adventurous. When you get angry in certain situations, know that the anger is yours to claim. Quote, "A true friend freely advises justly, assists readily, adventures boldly, takes all patiently, defends courageously, and continues a friend unchangeably." William Penn. End of quote. The guiding force of the energy of gases and air. Embrace, endure, and love it all. In regards to friendships, show your endurance to be a friend, for all of you go through turbulent times. Trust that you will get confrontations even with your best friend and embrace them, just as you embraced the other times when you experience the other side of them. Be aware to give your friends space in order to breathe and to be by themselves. Love your friends unconditionally, for whom and for what they are. Quote, "The most I can do for my friend is simply to be his friend. I have no wealth to bestow on him. If he knows that I am happy in loving him, he will want no other reward. Is not friendships divine in this?" Henry David Thoreau. End of quote. Let your friends circulate in all aspects of your life if you wish to do so, and if it is appropriate on your side. Be careful to point with your index finger to your friend, for more fingers are pointing back to you. Give your friends the love from your heart, and do not harden because of certain confrontations. Quote, Love is all we have, the only way that each can help the other. Euripides. End of quote. The guiding force of ether connected to audible sounds and verbal communication. Realize that everything you hear and say is just an opinion. In regards to friendships, show respect to your friends by lending them an ear when they have to speak and vent. When you are not in the position at that moment, ask them to do this at a later date. Watch out for interrupting, judging, and even giving them advice. In most cases, you all do not need advice, but need to hear yourself, and most likely you can figure it out. When a friend criticizes you, don't take it too serious. Quote, if you hear that someone is speaking ill of you, instead of trying to defend yourself, you should say, he obviously does not know me very well, since there are so many other faults he could have mentioned. Epictetus. End of quote. Stay alert that any friendship can end at any time, so be aware of what you want to share and what you take on as secrets from the other. Realize that you will have great times of great talks, but also that there will be times of miscommunication and lesser great moments. All is just a matter of opinion, and there is no need to judge each other. Don't be a pain in the neck by always just revealing your conditioned truths only. Give your friend the opportunity to reveal his or her conditioned truths as well. Quote, it is well, when judging a friend, to remember that he is judging you with the same godlike and superior impartiality. Arnett Bennett. End of quote. Have a deeper friendship and talk a little deeper than the surface stuff and just babbling about things and not even hearing what you have to say and say to each other. The guiding force of ether connected to the conditioned mind, associations, and non-audible communication. Stay aware of your limited and conditioned realities. In regards to friendships, watch out for judging with your thoughts when listening to your friends or by just being around them. Thoughts, although you cannot see them, you feel them, especially when there are negative thoughts and feelings being sent out. All is just a matter of opinion, and there is no need to judge each other. You are all conditioned by your past. Be careful with connecting negative associations to your friends because they become like a sticky glue. Quote, if we were faultless, we should not be so much annoyed by the defects of those with whom we associate. François Fenelon. End of quote. The guiding force of ether, connected to the universal mind, higher virtues, and soul communication. Observe yourself. In regards to friendships, know to live with the highest virtues, and you need friends who shine them. For the company you keep has a great influence on you, how you want to live your life. The danger, however, lays in you thinking that you have conquered all negative tendencies, but you could fall any moment. That is the same when you idolize others, who can also fall any minute, as they too are part of the world of opposites. Quote, never idolize others. They will never live up to your expectations. Leo S. Bugutskalia. End of quote. The guiding force of duality. Accept and deal with the duality in everything and everybody. In regards to friendships, know that you, like your friends, are part of the world created in opposites. There will be the duality in all your moments, good times and bad times, highs and lows, and they both are part of the experience, because one cannot have any meaning without the other. So do not just one side of your friend, or you living in fear for that unwanted side to surface. Accept the other side as the negative loses its power. Quote, ultimately, we know deeply that the other side of every fear is freedom. Marilyn Ferguson. End of quote. The guiding force of time. Learn to live in the moment. In regards to friendships, know that some friendships are for a lifetime and others come and go. They step into and out away from your life. Make the best use of sharing your time while being around each other and make time to be together. Quote, when walking, walk. When eating, eat. Zen proverb. End of quote. The guiding force of change. Learn to go with the ever-changing adventure. In regards to friendships, stay alert that you are having friendships in the world of change, in which friends change to your liking or not. Realize that you all constantly are changing, just each individual to his or her own way and pace. Quote, the greatest gift that you can give to others is the gift of unconditional love and acceptance. Brian Tracy. End of quote. When both friends go with change, they have a healthier friendships than those who do not like and do not welcome change. The adventure of life is all about change. The guiding force of cycles. Tune into the natural cycles of life. In regards to friendships, know that each worldly friendship is part of a cycle which has a beginning and an end. Most friends are in your life because you are experiencing a similar cycle or phase within that cycle, and for this reason you might have different kinds of friends at the same time, and you see friends coming into your life and leaving again. Quote, life, a cycle, a series of events, meetings, and departures. Friends discovered, others lost. Precious time wastes away. Big droplet tears are shed for yesterday, but are dried in time for tomorrow, until all that remain are foggy, broken memories of a happy yesterday. Daniela Gallo. End of quote. The guiding force of balance. It is nature's duty to recreate balance. In regards to friendships, know that when imbalances occur that you will have to act accordingly, otherwise the messages will become more and more severe, which could result in the ending of a friendship. Before you take any action, you must first accept what is going on and how it came that far. Otherwise, you have no good foundation to balance things out again. Quote, acceptance of what has happened is the first step to overcoming the consequences of any misfortune. William James. End of quote. The guiding force of necessities. Simplicity is the key. In regards to friendships, know that the base of a good friendship is accepting each other and just being together. It is something very easy and simple. In order to secure this, you must stop looking at your differences and what you all want from each other. This kind of friendship everyone needs. Quote, your friend is your needs answered. Khalil Gibran. End of quote. The guiding force of wholeness. No need to go more into separation. In regards to friendships, you could be jealous as you think that the other has something you do not have. By doing so, you only acknowledge the part which is missing by yourself, and by your friends you only acknowledge the part that they seem to have which you not have. Here is where your love for yourself and your friend stops, where separation comes to the surface and unity disappears. Quote, in jealousy, there is more of self-love than love. François de la Rochefoucauld. End of quote. The guiding force of comprehension. There is always more than you can see or comprehend. In regards to friendships, you may think that you have figured out your friends. Realize, however, that there are endless characters and hidden files that at any time can surface and of which you do not know about. This is also in regards when you have disagreements, which is mostly not just about the obvious you dwell on. There are endless things of the past contributing to anything that comes to the surface. Quote, "No man's knowledge here can go beyond his experience." John Locke. End of quote. The guiding force of improvement and perfection. There is always room for improvement. In regards to friendships, know that each friend has certain dominant qualities, but never all qualities you might be looking for. Accept your friend for what they are, because on the physical plane nobody is perfect, although there is always room for improvement. Quote, "How wonderful it is that nobody needs wait a single moment before starting to improve the world." Anne Frank. End of quote. The guiding force of order, place and function. Everything is part of an order and has a function and place. In regards to friendships, know that each friend has a special place and function in your life. Each one will act out the roles you can learn from, and who does have a purpose in your life. There is an order to things which you mostly do not understand. All might have a deeper meaning and might be for a higher purpose. Maybe you find some answers by being in silence. Quote, "It is in deep solitude that I find the gentleness with which I can truly love my brothers. The more solitary I am, the more affection I have for them. Solitude and silence teach me to love my brothers for what they are, not for what they say." Thomas Merton. End of quote. The guiding force of cause and effect. Every action has not just one reaction, but causes a chain reaction and creates a reality you have to deal with. In regards to friendships, know that in your dealing with your friends that you treat them as you would want to be treated. The kind of friends you have give you a pretty good indication about yourself. When you are completely okay with them, you are okay with yourself, which is the reaction of all actions in the past. When you are not completely satisfied and struggle with various friends, it is maybe wise to start acting more positive towards yourself and towards your friends. Every positive action towards yourself or them will result in a more positive reality. Quote, "Your life is the fruit of your own doing. You have no one to blame but yourself." Joseph Campbell. End of quote. The guiding force of contraction and expansion. Quality or quantity? In regards to friendships, it is better to have one good friend than many who are not really your friends. Quote, "A good friend is a connection to life, a tie to the past, a road to the future, the key to sanity in a total insane world." Louis Weiss. End of quote. Focus more on quality than on quantity and spend quality time with each other. Quote, "Associate yourself with people of good quality, for it is better to be alone than in bad company." Booker T. Washington. End of quote. The guiding force of repetition. Using the ability to repeat for the right reason and purpose. In regards to friendships, know that when you feel the need to get out of destructive friendships, that you must repeat and train yourself in ways so you want to be around yourself. Once You like to be around yourself with the qualities you have trained and integrate automatically different friends with those qualities will show up in your life. Quote, "To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance." Oscar Wilde. End of quote. The guiding force of reflections. All your experiences are a reflection from within yourself. In regards to friendships, know that all you see in your friends is a reflection of the friendship within yourself, with yourself. You all look for good friends in your life, but there is always something not completely right in the other. Realize as long as you are not a good friend to yourself, it will mirror on the outside. When you become that friend and accept all your shortcomings within yourself, you will also accept them as well in your friends. Quote, "The only way to have a friend is to be one." Ralph Waldo Emerson. End of quote. The guiding force of rhythm and vibrations. Realize that what you are, you will attract or repel. In regards to friendships, realize that you attract people like yourself around you because you can only attract that what you are. You are like magnets, repelling or attracting each other. When you do not like the friends you have to change the music within yourself. And you may have to change a lot in order to get to that new music of life. And automatically, the people around you will change. However, it is not for you to judge anybody or anyone. Just use the energy to change yourself. You are the sum total of everything you thought, said, and did. And all of them have an individual rhythm and vibration. Quote, "What you are comes to you." Ralph Waldo Emerson. End of quote. The guiding force of service. Learn to serve and care. In regards to friendships, ask yourself if you have friends around you with the expectation that they have to do something for you. What is it what you expect from your friends, or what do they expect from you? Friendships is not about having expectations, but caring about each other. You are not to carry them or their burdens, but to be there with care and assisting them to help themselves. That is the greatest service you can give, and making time for them when they are in need. Quote, "The value of man resides in what he gives and not in what he is capable of receiving." Albert Einstein. The guiding force of individuality. There is no need for comparing and competing. In regards to friendships, let's realize that no matter how much you can have, what you can have in common, you are in many other aspects totally individual and unique, and having an individual experience in this world. The entire world should be a friend because everyone is part of your universal relationship. Why do you tend to look first at your differences? And those differences you have a hard time accepting. You're all different, and the worldly adventure would be very boring when everybody would be the same. So accept all the endless differences you see in your friends and embrace them. There is no need to compare or compete. Quote, "Our greatest strength as a human race is our ability to acknowledge our differences. Our greatest weakness is our failure to embrace them." Judith Henderson. End of quote.